Now I'm going to show you this. It's the astronauts talking about their trip to space. And I just want to point out that, we've never been to space. There is no space. And everything in history in the last 100 years is completely wiped out and lied about. This video is going to be a mind opener for you. I'll do less talking and more letting other people do the talking. Watch these astronauts. And, about university. I feel very strongly because I have been to university. I have been to first year of many programs, but I could not go on because, in my ego, I thought, I was just bored and I wanted to get on with my life rather than sit and study. And I figured I could still get the jobs I wanted with the bite of education I took on every program. And I did. I got a great career. I did everything a person with a master's degree would do. But I didn't go to university all the way. I didn't join an alumni, and I was not part of any cult in the universities. But that's what they're forming in these universities, cults, alumni, fraternities. And they are cults. And when you belong to a group think, like a cult, you can't walk out of the norm of the cult. You have to go along with the program all the way. And I think they know that. I think they know that they're selling their souls here to dupe the public for money, prestige, fame. It literally is just like Jesus talked about. The idol stars sell their souls, and they are fallen. So let's watch them and see what they say about the stars. Because I've told you, we are the stars. We are the stars. The little lights in your pupils are the stars. They don't die. They will leave your body and float up, and you will be a star. I know how that sounds ridiculous. Believe you me, I have already been through trying to sort out the information I got from Beings of Light in 2016. But basically, I'm finding it, and I'm working through it. And when I make a mistake, I'll make sure and tell you. But so far, I see we are stars, and we may very well come from the moon. That's still up to debate. But let's watch these astronauts.
Into the black void. We were never able to see stars. Into the black void.
And we cannot see stars. As you can see the stars.
Oh yeah. We were never able to see stars.
As you can see the stars.
The sky is deep black.
As you can see the stars.
We were never able to see stars.
As you can see the stars.
I don't remember seeing any.
And we cannot see stars.
The sky is deep black.
And we cannot see stars.
When viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon, the space between the Earth and the moon. Sky, of course, was black.
As you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
And you can see it during the day.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon.
And you can see it during the day.
When you're in space and you're looking into deep space and you're on the sun side of the orbit, the sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars.
So you can see it during the day.
Just like pure Earth. But then when you look out into deep space away from the sun, it's the darkest black you can imagine. The darkest black you can imagine.
The sky, of course, was black. Or you can see planets.
You can see it during the day.
Yeah, you can see moons.
You see the gas.
You can see the...
I think we can look forward to going back to the moon again, but not just for a visit, to settle there.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But we destroyed that technology, we destroyed that technology. We destroyed that technology. I'd go to the moon. I'd go to the moon, but we destroyed that technology, and I'd make the process to build it back again. I'd go to the moon. We destroyed that technology. I'd go to the moon.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the furthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, moons. There's a lot of destinations that we could go to. The moon, Mars, asteroids, the moon.
Sky, of course, was black.
I see so many stars and planets.
It's a palpable blackness. It's not just dark. It's forever.
No, don't give me that NASA bullshit.
And you cannot see stars. You can see the stars. And you cannot see stars.
We were never able to see stars.
You can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
There really are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them. And you cannot see stars, and you can see them.
We were never able to see stars.
And you can see them.
I don't remember seeing any.
But you can see it during the day.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
Retard.
Then you have a leak.
Retard.
And then there's probably a plan, I don't know off the top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. The mechanism might require a spacewalk.
Retard.
Might require a spacewalk.
Talk about being lied to about everything. I turned the volume off on this video on BitChute because I wasn't too impressed with the narrator. But the pictures say it all. So what we're looking at is a history with impossible buildings plopped in the middle of our history. Buildings that are impossible to build before the Industrial Revolution, and buildings that defy anything that we really know. And we don't even ask about it. Look at the at the detail in the art of the architecture of so many buildings around our world. Every single continent has these buildings. And you just have to wonder, how did they build them without power drills, power tools? And what about all the symbology in each of the buildings? The symbology is everywhere, especially at the Vatican, and there's a lot of snakes and serpents over there. We are so lied to about everything. Everything. You see all those chairs there, they don't fit. Look at the columns. It's not like it was for an audience. But now they've been turned into churches and temples. All of them, mosques, churches, and temples. But this wasn't what they were before. These buildings were not churches and temples. Put a pew in the middle of these gorgeous marble buildings of wood like that. It's just picture after picture after picture. This whole video goes on for about an hour of these buildings around the world. at the design. No power tools. So I thought, well, that must just be sandstone where it can be easily carved into. But it wouldn't withstand time, would it? Geometric. Okay, now this is the part. Look at that. I'm going to stop it. Ah! That star. It looked like an orb just a minute ago. Try and go back. I do apologize for my lack of professionalism in my videos. I'm just want to get a message out. There it is. Now, they're saying that's a star, right? And do you know that stars look just like orbs? See if I can get... Yes, I thought I had some photos of orbs, and I do. So there is an orb in the sky. Now, I believe that's an up-close star. I believe that the stars in our eyes, those lights in your eyes, are the stars. I have no doubt about it. Look at the orbs around me. This was in 2007, right after my father died. I was very upset, and I was writing a letter to my mother. And my friend sitting over there on the sofa took a picture of me sitting there. And on my right and on my left, I have my father and my son. Oops, let me go back to the orbs. This was in my granddaughter's barn. I said, there's a freaking spirit party going on here. It's on Indian land where this barn was. And they say, oh, it's just dust. No, it's not. Stupid. Here's my ex-husband with my granddaughter. He loved to take kids on camping trips. Look at the way he looks at her. And I was there. I lived just down the block from where they were camping, and I went over to see them. Look at how unhappy my granddaughter looked. She's gone. She's gaslighted from me. She thinks like you can brainwash children, and she sees me as pure evil. Maybe because I didn't protect her, I am. Same with my son. I want to tell you something. People are gaslighted all over the world. You don't know who people are. Because once you get a narcissist or a psychopath to twist the truth and gaslight the reality of somebody, the people around them, you've destroyed that person and you don't know who they are. I'm going to just take a minute and show you another video about that. I know I'm on the subject of orbs because we don't die and we're stars and nothing is hidden. That's what I'm trying to teach the world. But I'm also trying to show you that we have been so lied to by psychopaths, by narcissists. I want you to see how it works. Listen to this woman. She does a very good job.
To us to not allow that to happen. Ego trauma is an attack on your identity, your sense of self. Narcissistic relationships are different from other toxic or abusive relationships in this key way. They involve a massive amount of ego trauma, not just for the reasons that we've already discussed, but because pathologically narcissistic people create false images of others, and then they have a relationship with those images as if they're real. They act upon, react to, and interact with these images as if that's who somebody really is. They've also created false images of themselves, and they expect other people to behave as though that's the reality of who the narcissist is. These images are often completely different from the actual objective experiences of everyone around the narcissistic person. And the effect of this on somebody is that of extreme gaslighting. For example, being interacted with as if you are an untrustworthy thief when you've never stolen anything, or being expected to react to a very physically abusive person as if they've never hurt a fly, or being reacted to as if you're dangerous and scary when you've never done anything to provoke that response from somebody, and much, much more. This goes beyond just being told that you're doing things that you're not doing. This is a complete immersion in an environment where you are relentlessly interacted with and reacted to as if you actually are somebody else. It'd be like walking onto a part in a movie that you didn't know you were playing, and there's this entire history and all these scenes that have happened that you have no idea what's going on and you don't know what anybody's talking about. And this is relentless. Relentless, as in it never stops even for a second, because this is their reality. Further, you're expected to interact with and react to another person as if they're not who they are either. Even small challenges to these narratives may be met with extreme backlash, hostility, and punishment. You are required to literally ignore the objective experience that makes up your reality and participate in a false one in order to exist in the relationship at all. This results in constantly conflicting realities. It is extremely confusing and disorienting for people, and the damage that can be done to a person's sense of self is enormous if they are not aware that this is what's happening. The damage this does to children in particular is devastating. It can be cataclysmic. It's only when a person becomes an adult and can start to see these things for how they really are that they can start to assess the damage that has been done by this. It's important to understand, though, that what we're really talking about here is somebody's opinion. That's it. That's all it is. No matter how important it seems, no matter how much it hurts, in the end, that's it. That's all it is. It's somebody's opinion. Not only is it somebody's opinion, it's the opinion of a person who is profoundly unable to see things as they truly are in any way. It is not reality, and it should never carry more weight than your own opinion of yourself. Nobody's opinion should. Self-esteem is called self-esteem because it's what we think of ourselves. The ego manipulations of narcissistic people are designed to interfere with that. This is how they function. When we do the ego work that is necessary in order to heal from these relationships, we will find that the idealized evaluation cycles no longer affect us in the same way because we aren't as vulnerable to idealization anymore. We don't need to be idealized, and we're no longer totally crushed by being devalued. It still hurts because being devalued by anybody would hurt, but it doesn't devastate us when we know who and what we are and who and what we are not. This is the best armor you can have against ego trauma. Someone else cannot define you and then destroy you by capriciously changing that definition when you define yourself.
And that's basically my story. I was gaslit first by my mother, who, as a child, she saw my father in me. And my father had badly hurt my mother. They had a teenage relationship and 2 children before she was 19. And he hurt her. He read the book Rebel Without a Cause in high school, you know. And she probably read some other book that had another type of fairy tale about how life was going to work out. So you have images in your head when you start thinking like that, and then that's all you can see in your little girl. And my mother used her words with everybody about me and my dad and my son. She also tortured my son. And then I married Gary, And there was, I was already ego traumatized. Like I was already feeling worthless pretty much. And I couldn't believe Gary would marry me, really. I had a 4-year-old baby. I was, didn't make as much money as him. What does he want with me? He looks like the groom on the wedding cake. It looks perfect. He works for a big IT tech company. Looks perfect. Complete lie. He's so sick in the head. And I didn't see it for 20 years. It was when my ego completely broke, when I completely broke. And I went homeless, and I ended up in Quebec with nobody, no grandchildren, no siblings, nobody left. My mother's funeral was a big part of that, She cut me out of the will, and she had 160 people at her funeral. And with my siblings there taking her money, they had to create a story about me. They had to agree with Mother. Verbally with everybody. Oh yeah, Cheryl, she tortured Mother. She really did emotionally torture Mother. Poor Mother. That's what they would say. But they're the ones that tortured our mother. They're the ones that left her in the bathroom to die alone. And then have the fucking nerve to call me and say I can't come to the funeral. Why? Because you're going to spin your little lies? The problem is Mother didn't die. We don't die. She was crying in the background. I heard her. You didn't, brother and sister. You did not hear Mother crying. I did. Emotionally, we are connected. She's my twin flame. My mother is my twin flame. But we get hijacked with our imaginations. We're so lied to by narcissists at the top. They have gaslit our complete reality here on earth. So nothing is true. And I think the reason why some people are waking up is because they have been traumatized by these narcissists at home and lied to. And so they can see when there's a picture out there and it just doesn't look right in these buildings, which I'm going to just show you now, some more buildings. And as you look at them, just sort of contemplate, where does this come from? And we don't know. We don't know. All we can do is love each other, sort out our feelings with talking, communicating, and not demonizing one another. That's what they want. They want us fighting. But we have to look to the top, to the narcissist. We have to tell them they can't lie anymore. We have to insist on the truth, or we deserve to live in delusion.
Is the potential of electromagnetism to transform all human life, technology, and society. Which is strange when you consider that all life and the Earth itself is impossible without electromagnetism. Why wouldn't visionaries want to explore this in more detail? Could it be that they are not allowed to? Could it be that they are afraid of something? Afraid of us connecting one too many dots, perhaps? And again, horseshoe magnets can act as powerful electromagnets. If a civilization was to advance technologically through the use of electromagnetism, then the horseshoe magnet would certainly have a tremendous role to play in that development. Yes, it certainly would. And it certainly did. The horseshoe magnet. The Arc de Triomphe. Yes, one of the most powerful electromagnets ever constructed.
Copper and gold. And antennas. If you would like to see more of that video, it's a long one and it's worth watching. It's on BitChute, The Secret Connecting Cathedrals, Organ, Water, Sound. It's by Anti-Disinformation. Sean St. Pierre. He's a good guy. He puts out some good videos. And watch it all, because you're going to see that this is not a true reality we live. We've been lied to from the get-go. And so give yourself permission to erase what you've been told is the truth and try and figure it out for yourself the way I am. I was lucky that my son and those beings of light came and sparked something in me that said, holy shit, I was not living in reality during my life. I missed everything. My intuition wasn't there. I turned it off myself. I remember doing it. You don't want to look. You don't want to look at ugly. You do not want to believe ugly. And that is why we are not in reality, because we refuse to look. And we fight each other instead of demanding answers from media, government. Anybody involved in duping the public must be held to account. Now, I think it's up to us to hold them to account. That's what I think. I don't think that there's going to be Jesus Christ coming to save anybody. I think he said already what he could do, we could do. Christ is the spirit within. It's your soul. It's your eyes. It's your star. You're a star seed. You're not nothing. And somebody hijacked the truth. And they have been continuing to have us live in this dark fantasy, the Garden of Eden. And the dark fantasy has got to blow up so that we can see the light. You know, after everything happened to me in 2016, and then I got lung cancer and homeless and take a bus across Canada by myself with just 2 suitcases and nobody. I couldn't die. I tried. I couldn't. So I had to. I was forced to live. And as a result, I sorted through all of my emotional feelings. And that's what I knew was missing all along, was our emotional feelings. We have to know that our emotions are our light, our eyes, our energy. And if we don't have the emotion, then the energy is all artificial. The energy is artificial and it will blow up. But worse, we are demonizing our own families. And this is wrong. I think that's all I have. It's a little bit of a strange video with clips in between. I'm trying to practice doing a better job articulating what I've been through. But it's not easy because I couldn't understand what had happened. It takes the willingness to look. And when I saw it, my friends, it's so ugly. It's so ugly outside. I can't take it. I can't stand watching the children. They got no light in their eyes. We're all so busy going to school and learning from fake characters like Einstein and Aristotle and all of that stupid, distracting, useless information that we study and memorize. We're not learning how to evolve, we're learning how to memorize. But what we're memorizing dies. It's artificial. Only thing left will be our emotion. The emotion of our eyes. And I learned how to love my emotions and trust them. They're the truth. They were the truth all along. Every time I saw the truth in my life and I brought it up, I was gaslit as if I am not the truth. And I'm tired of it, and I won't accept it anymore. No, once you get the truth, you don't accept it anymore. You won't allow anybody to gaslight you or make you out to be somebody you're not. As soon as somebody starts doing that to me today, I knew what they are. Gone. They're lost. They're projecting from their eyes. They're not loving from their eyes. They're projecting. That's a problem. And Jesus mentioned that too. It's a problem. Projecting. You're not seeing clearly. So what I've done now is I assume everybody is an amazing spirit, a beautiful soul. And I ignore their ego. You know, the ego that is all about money and competition and being the best and succeeding. Well, I'm sorry, but success here, ha ha ha, is not succeeding. Nope. It's failing. Failing. Success is living in the truth with love. How do they keep them warm? Free energy has been robbed from us. And they turn them into temples of worship and authority. All of them. Kings and queens live in them now. So they think. They think that they're more entitled than you are. And that they can lie. But at the end of the day, the lies will be revealed. The masses will stand up. And they'll bring it down again. All of the lies about the earth and where we come from will be known. And maybe we can get our free energy back. We've been kidnapped, raped, and murdered. Over and over and over. Until we say no more. Until we stop these people. No more control with lies. This energy is so bad for us. This smart energy is so bad. It's artificial, and it can kill you with cancer. It will kill you with cancer. Definitely kill you with cancer.
We were never able to see stars into the black void.
And we cannot see stars. You can see the stars.
Oh yeah. We were never able to see stars.
Con artist.
See the stars.
The sky is deep black.
You can see the stars.
We were never able to see stars.
You can see the stars.
I don't remember seeing any.
And we cannot see stars.
The sky is deep black.
And we cannot see stars.
When viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon, the space between the Earth and the moon. Sky, of course, was black.
You can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
And you can see it during the day.
We were never able to see.
So you can see that it's like the idle stars. They have to keep going with the program, the lies. And they've stopped doing interviews, and one of them made a confession. So we know the truth. Why are we letting it go on? That's my question to you. Why are you allowing other human beings to take control of your children, your parents, and your body, mind, and soul? Why? You're free. You are free.